Yo, what's good, everybody? I wanted to talk about a deck that's been pretty dominant for me recently, and that's going to be this Destroy deck right over here. I think that Destroy has really come into its own recently as a result of adding Nico and X23 to the package. Now, all of a sudden, Deadpool is actually a very relevant card. I always felt that Deadpool was kind of lacking a little bit. It felt like it was really hard to power him up quickly. A lot of times, people were using Hulkbuster in the deck, and I find that for me personally, Hulkbuster is a very clunky, kind of awkward card to use. With the buff to Forge that makes him a one-cost card, he fits perfectly into a Destroy shell. He gets you a chance to give a +2 boost to Deadpool or even to Wolverine, which really just kind of spices things up a little bit. And Nico has a couple of spells that really enhance Destroy. She's got after you play your next card, destroy it and draw 2 cards, which is absolutely unbelievable because in one turn you can go ahead and play Nico first and then you can play Deadpool right after, automatic kill. And Nico basically has a Forge spell built right in. The combo of Forge, Nico, and Deadpool along with X23 suddenly make Destroy a very viable deck, and I've had a ton of success. I've been ranking up consistently with it, especially in this meta where Annihilus is sort of being played a lot because it's the new card. It won't always be there, but Destroy is still very effective even with Annihilus not being around, and it does a particularly good job against Loki most of the time, unless of course Loki pulls your death or your null, which is going to be a little rough, but by then you should mostly have a big time powered up Deadpool that you could play alongside Taskmaster on turn 6. And a lot of times it just doesn't really matter if Loki ended up pulling your death and your null, because you've already got big time cards like Venom out there with a ton of power and they can't replicate what you did there. So I wanted to take this Destroy deck into action and kind of just show off how I play it because I really love this deck. So here we are. We already got a really solid starting hand, especially with Nico and Deadpool, but Nico doesn't have the good spell right now, so we're not going to try and turn Deadpool into a demon. Obviously, we're just going to end the turn and hope that we get the one that allows us to draw cards by destroying that Deadpool. The other thing that Nico and X23 and Forge kind of do is allow for Killmonger to have more targets, which is always awesome. But we did draw Forge, and Forge into Deadpool right there on turn 2 is amazing. And we got to face off against a discard deck, and this deck does pretty well against discard. And the scrolls out there obviously are going to make a huge difference here. And we got Nico, who's going to add a copy of a card. So we're actually going to go ahead and put Nico, Carnage. We're going to snap here, and we're going to just go ahead and start playing this out right now. And our opponent retreated right away. All right, I think from now on, I'm not going to snap anymore for this video. I'm just going to play it out normally so that we can see the action go down. Okay, so we got Olympia, which is amazing. And we have Nico, which after you play your next card, destroy it and draw 2 cards. I mean, you want to play that almost every time. And a lot of times it's very snappable when you get that. I'm not going to snap here because like I said, I don't want to push our opponent away. It's just not worth it to me for the video. And we got Deadpool out of it. So I was originally going to use it on Wolverine, but now we got Deadpool. I think we go ahead and it puts us in a little bit of a rough spot. I mean, I guess it doesn't. I guess we could just destroy Forge and Forge Deadpool, or we can just do Wolverine. I think the smartest thing is just forging Deadpool here. We're gonna draw some extra cards, so we're gonna have a lot of destroy elements here. And there's Killmonger, there's Venom, and we're just in really good shape. There's Deadpool. We're facing off against Collector, so hopefully we'll be able to show off us beating sort of a Loki deck. Now, Nowhere does throw a monkey wrench into our plans, but We're going to put in X23 and we're going to just carnage these 3 cards, and that's going to give us some extra energy. And X23 giving you extra energy has been absolutely incredible for me so far. And we're facing Elsa. This is kind of a standard Loki deck at this point. This is something that everybody kind of does. It's a little boring if I'm being honest. And let's go ahead and Venom here. Then we'll have a lot of different options for what we want to do. We're going to have some extra energy. We're going to have a 12 powered Deadpool, and X23 goes to the left, which is awesome. And I think we got to kill that Quinjet. We didn't necessarily need to draw, but we kind of needed to draw. You know what I mean? And our opponent just retreats just like that. They don't get Loki and they're out. And this is just kind of the domination that I feel like I find with this deck constantly. And we're on to our 3rd match. And look at that. Hala is out there. Now, here's a little tip. It might not be the best in every situation, but I would kind of rather hold on to Deadpool, see if we can grab us a Forge or Nico. Usually, but honestly, with Carnage in hand, we might as well get the Deadpool train going a little bit early. It's not a bad idea. So I'm just gonna put out Deadpool. I'm afraid because I feel like we're gonna draw Forge. Okay, we drew Wolverine, which actually maybe I'll just place Wolverine out there as well. Might as well. They got their Zabu out there. So now we're gonna have sort of more options. So this is actually huge. We're gonna get a chance to Carnage the Deadpool Wolverine, and then we're gonna throw Forge into Hala. We don't care if Forge gets destroyed, and Forge is gonna give us an opportunity to add +2 to Deadpool like right away. So here we go. Let's do this. And sort of we're going to watch where Wolverine falls. He falls mid. So maybe we can draw debris. That's tough. That just makes things a little more difficult. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and just so we want Deadpool to get the extra power. I think we're gonna do this. We're fine if Deathlock ends up dying. I just hope there's no like absorbing man that's gonna fill up mid, because that would be very unfortunate. Unless we, of course, draw our Killmonger. So that's a big one for us. They're gonna kill Deathlock, which helps Death and Null grow. I definitely understand what they're doing. I also maybe should have So we're in a very interesting spot here. I think they're obviously going to try to annihilate us on turn 5. I kind of think that this is the right move, because we're going to end up having a rock on each side. This is going to tie up left. A card is going to be put into Grand Central, which will be nice. So I'm going to go ahead and make this move right here. He's snapping. I'm not leaving. We're definitely not leaving. I know it's coming. We're getting the -11 void. It's not a big deal. I don't know that I even care. Especially if we pull a destroy card here. You know, a lot of times these guys send things over, we destroy them, and then things change their mind, so to speak. The Luke Cage action. So if we lose right, we lose right, or, you know, maybe we just go ahead and play null and, you know, end up winning right, and he just snapped and he can't really beat me. So let's see what happens. I think he was kind of, yeah, there it is.
Victory.
These guys, a lot of times they snap on a Nihilus and we just come over the top. And even if I can't destroy the Void, I just go ahead and put Null over there on the right side and we're going to win that location and they're not going to expect it and they can't beat me at 2 other locations. All right, let's find one more game that we can show this deck off against. And Lake Hellas, he's snapping on turn 1. All right, we're gonna stick around for a moment. I'm not gonna leave. We do have Forge. It's not the greatest. Okay, I'm assuming he's a Loki deck. He's got a lot of Loki stuff going on. And hopefully we draw Deadpool or Wolverine. That would be great. Carnage. Carnage could work. Go ahead and skip here. I'm actually going to let this one go. Oof. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. And what is this? After you play your next card, give it +2 power. We're going to go ahead and we're going to play that bad boy as well. He's in a very good position right now. That's a big Wolverine. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to play Deathlock. We're not in the greatest position. We're hoping that Wolverine lands mid so that we can draw a card. We're going to have to see. I'm assuming he's got his Loki ready. And Loki does kind of, Destroy does kind of mess up Loki. So he's playing a lot of cards. I have a feeling Werewolf by Night's going to end up mid there. So this 10 power Wolverine might not be enough. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Yeah. It is definitely going to end up mid. That was a nice play with the demon. Okay, so he's going to get the chance to draw. So we basically know he has Loki. Like, he's only got 3 more cards in his deck. So it's hard for him to not have Loki at this point. But this is going to be one big Venom. And also, let's do this, actually. This way, maybe we get off Wolverine a couple times. This is going to be pretty big. Death is going to end up being... maybe not super cheap, but a little cheap. Oh, that's beautiful. Wolverine landed in the perfect spot. Let's go. That's huge.
Enough said, bub.
Oh my, we love that. We love that. There's the Loki. And I'm not really fully convinced that he's going to be able to beat us here. He's in a tough spot with the Venom that's 58 power, and now we got Taskmaster, so... we're gonna go ahead and copy the Taskmaster. We're gonna go ahead and copy the Venom, and let's see if this works out. I like it. I think he's not gonna end up with enough power in Shuri's lab, so I'm not super concerned with that. Unless he leaves Werewolf by Night there, I don't know. It just feels very unlikely. He might be worried. He might be leaving. If he got Death, his Death is going to cost 3, which is really good. I don't have Eliath in this deck, which is another benefit to this deck. If they do Loki me, they're never going to have Eliath. Null is pretty big. Null is a problem. Null on the right could end up making us lose, but honestly, I'm not super worried about it. I think the most likely thing that happens is he's just gonna leave, or maybe he's really just plotting out that Werewolf by Night, which is also possible. There's the Null on the left. That's a big spot for Null to end up. That's big for us. He carnaged. Wow. All right. Definitely a play. Just like that, baby. That Taskmaster just won us the game. Loki gets absolutely crushed. It does not even matter. Thankfully, he played null to the left. I guess he thought I would play to the left because I don't know. I don't know why he didn't think I would play mid, because it made the most sense to play mid. We were just going to win Shuri's Lab. But yeah, that's the deck. It's an incredible, incredible deck. I honestly have so much success with it. Let me know in the comment section below how you guys did with this deck. Let me know if you like it. Let me know how you feel about it. But Destroy is absolutely crushing it right now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. And if you enjoyed the content, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It would help out a lot. It would mean the world to me. Have a great rest of your day.